There's one point I want us to
Yeah.
address here, right?
Yeah.
Is the question of quality. Because
Yeah.
even when I've had multiple conversations, I'm always told, oh, no, no, virtual podcasts, the quality is not great. And, audio, there may be a problem, or video, there may be a problem. So I want us to address that point. So tell me what you think about that.
Correct. So the audio part today is more or less a solved problem with all the post production tools that you have, right? And
Mm-hmm.
if you use again a decent mic like this, I think the audio problem is
Mm-hmm.
solved totally. Number two, most internet connections today are far more robust, right? So the lags are fewer. Number three, with blurred backgrounds and a little bit of post production, you
Mm-hmm.
can increase the quality even of a virtual podcast, right? So I don't think that's a problem anymore, right? Like it used to be. And just another suggestion for any brands or companies that are watching this, right? If you're hell bent on doing something which is in person, we have no problem. We will execute it for you.
Yeah.
Then what we would recommend is to do a hybrid, right? So a few of them you can
Mm.
do in person, and the rest you can do virtually, right? Which is what most podcasts end up doing, right? They do a mix of both things, right? Every company, marketing manager, marketing head that's watching this needs to realize is you're not a podcaster.
Mm.
Right, you're using your podcast as a means to a business end, right?
Yeah.
And therefore, because you're not a podcaster, right, that's not your core business. That's just one of the many marketing tools that you're going to deploy for business growth. You need to think of everything from an ROI point of view. And that's exactly how we're thinking of it, right? We're thinking about how do you get returns on the money that you're
Yeah.
going to spend on the podcast. And when you think of it from that lens, you will realize that the solution that we're giving you is a far better solution that will help meet your business growth or business
Mm.
objectives by spending the right amount of money on it, right?
Yeah.
So that's the kind of solution that we give you. Again, going back to your previous question, if you go to a production company, they're going to say, no, 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 you need to do a
Yes.
physical one, right? Because they're obsessed with the production
The
quality of
grandeur of it.
something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We are obsessed with helping our customers get the business results that they're looking for through this particular podcast, right? That is our obsession, right? And helping you get an ROI, because we're business people ourselves, right? So we know that any activity that doesn't give an ROI in the end is not going to be something that is going to be sustainable for companies. So our focus is that as the experts on this subject.
And I think this differentiator is so important because
Mm.
it's very easy to get deterred and, suddenly worry about the quality of your output, the
Yeah,
quality of what your brand is going to put up, and then
yeah,
be like, no, 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 we'd rather not go that way, or let's not
yeah,
do virtual
yeah,
podcasts. But
yeah,
not losing sight of this objective and what we're trying to achieve is so important over here,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Then when you work backwards from there, it just makes sense.
Correct. And if you look at just some of the companies, brands around the world that are running their podcasts, most of them, again, are either hybrid or virtual, right? If they're
Right.
doing it over a long period of time. And I'm not talking about a company that, does 3 episodes in the whole year,
Mm-hmm.
because in my opinion, that's almost a useless activity, right? When you do 3 or 6 episodes and you shoot it in the most elaborate way in a year, I don't think brands should do that at all, right? You need to look at a frequency for your podcast, which is ideally, if you ask me, once every week, right? But at least once every 2 weeks, right? So either close to 48 podcasts a year, if you're going to do it roughly
Mm-hmm.
once a week, or 24 podcasts, right, in the year is what you should look at doing. And therefore, it doesn't make sense for somebody to, just do, 3 podcasts, right? And coming back, brands around the world that have been using this strategy very effectively, most of them are doing either virtual only, or they're doing hybrid, which is primarily virtual, and a few of them in the physical format, right? And I'm talking about the world's biggest brands,
Mm.
right, in
Yeah.
both the B2B and B2C space, right? Literally the biggest brands is what I'm talking about. Yeah, and I think most companies should know that what we're saying is the more logical way about doing it. This comes from a space of us being able to do both, but we're advising you on what the right thing is to do for you.
Yeah. I love that we've spoken about how to look at podcasts,
Yeah,
right? Because today people talk about the setup of podcasts, who's on the podcast, but really,
yeah.
what's the thought? What's the objective,
Mm,
especially when it comes to brands, right? I love
mm,
that we've broken that down so
yeah.
beautifully, Swapnil.